Lemonada.
I want to talk about style. Sometimes I do live shows and I'll say, like, I grew up white trash, and people will be like, oh, like, as if I'm saying something awful or something. Like, it's just what it was. So I grew up white trash, and excuse me, I have a bit of a cold. That's why I sound so much like I have a bit of a cold. So I grew up white trash, and just by nature of that, always was around people who had not great style, namely, my mom. The way I can describe my mom's style best is that she's like Aaron Brockovich, where it's like never appropriate for whatever the setting is. There's always a little too much legs showing when there shouldn't be, a little too much cleavage showing when there shouldn't be, and just like tacky clothes. Things that don't really go together, just confusing. Also, I think in retrospect, something about how my mom dressed was that she was dressing to hide her insecurities as opposed to expressing herself. That's kind of going to be the main theme that we're getting at here. So I saw my mom's attire. I saw also people from church who were very different from that, and in a not necessarily better way. They've got the prairie skirts and the turtleneck tops like year round. So these Mormons would dress in a kind of Mormon-y way, and then there's the white trash people around who would dress in a white trash way. There's my mom who really, really exemplified that. So I didn't have a great example for how to dress. As a kid, I very much dressed like a kid. Really, really just... My brothers all had hand-me-downs because there were 3 of them. I was the only girl, so I would get... my mom would get me stuff from Old Navy or Pick and Save or... the Target clearance section, things like that was where I was getting my style. And you don't expect a kid to have style, right? So by my teen years, when my body starts developing, it really developed over my 16th year. That's when I started finding, curves for the first time. Before then, it was really just flat as a board, nothing to be found. Then all of a sudden, breasts started bursting out and my ass started getting more womanly, and I just started having, my hips expanded. I just started having more womanly curves. And I was so ashamed of those curves. I didn't feel I was shocked at the way that other girls around me who had been developing for years at that point, like I knew girls who were developing at 9, 10, 11, like I was the last of them to start sprouting out. But I felt so much shame. I didn't want to show that I had breasts. I wished that I didn't have breasts. I hated having breasts. And so I would try to dress to cover them up. I would try to wear things that hid my shape as much as possible. And in hiding my shape, I was not flattering my shape at all. So then it would just kind of balloon out. And then my mom started commenting on that. You look hefty in that. You look too. You make she'd go. You're making yourself look too heavy. You're making yourself look like a balloon. Just all kinds of weird sayings. You look like a bear in that. It's like, mom-isms, mom sayings. So then she would try to, quote unquote, help me, and she would find things for me to wear that were more. That were like the things that she wore a bit when she was younger. Sexual. Just things that were more sexual. And I was so uncomfortable with it. And the weird thing was that my mom then became really critical of it. So she didn't like when I dressed in a way that she said looked like a balloon or a hippo or a bear or too big or, wide or whatever she would call me that day. She didn't like that. So then she would want me to dress more sexual, would literally pick out the clothes and choose my outfit and dress, and half the time dress me herself, peeling the clothes off of my body, putting the clothes on my body. She would do all that and then say, "Where's my little girl? No, where's my little girl? oh, she'd cry. Sometimes sob, sometimes like really, really, like really intense, that level of sobbing. And I'm thinking, what am I supposed to do? I'm already feeling shame about having these body parts, these newly formed extensions of my body, right? I'm already feeling the shame of that and kind of a sinfulness of that because of my Mormon background and because of my mom's messaging to me growing up and because of my own inherent narratives and beliefs. So I'm already feeling so much shame and discomfort and guilt about my body. And then she's making it worse by saying, it's basically damned if you do, damned if you don't. On the one hand, I look like a balloon, so then she dresses me a different way, and then I'm not her little girl anymore. I couldn't win. Then my mom's hit with cancer and starts playing less of a significant role in my life. And yet this difficult relationship with clothing is not healing. It's not getting better. It's not changing just by not having my mom in my ear every 3 seconds. I'm still feeling like I'll dress for my sexuality to maybe attract a guy that I want to date, but then I'll still feel like a little girl inside and feel really guilty about dressing that way and odd and like I'm in a body that's not my own. Like I hadn't adjusted to having a woman's body, even though I was in my late teens. It still all felt so awkward and wrong to me, frankly. And then my mom dies, and my relationship with clothing still is confused. And I don't think I had recognized that clothing could be something different, that it could be something fun, that it could be something playful, that it could be something creative and expressive and enjoyable and fulfilling, until eating disorder recovery. I think there were so many gifts from eating disorder recovery. So many. Biggest one being the obvious, not having an eating disorder anymore. But there were other great gifts as well. Using my body for enjoyment rather than really abusing it, just overcompensatory exercise, all of that went out the window. And then I just walk. Honestly, now I just walk. That's all I do. It's what's fun for me. It's what I enjoy. Occasionally I've done some little workout videos on YouTube or like stretching videos, but it's really just what I want, what feels right to my body. Putting things in my body that feel right to it in whatever, any given moment, whatever that means. And then this, which is finding a sense of style and enjoying the creative outlet of that sense of style. Quince has made it so easy to start your own capsule wardrobe. They offer timeless, elevated classics that are actual quality, so they last in your closet forever. They also, I think this is pretty cool, they want us to re-examine the way that we shop. They don't think clothes should just last a season and then be discarded. I think it's great. They are very much campaigners for sustainability and reusability. They have all the capsule wardrobe must-haves, like their 100% Mongolian cashmere sweaters starting at $50. But they also have affordable suede and leather jackets, silk blouses, and dresses too. By partnering directly with top factories, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. Give yourself the luxury you deserve with Quince. Go to quince.com/hardfeelings for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/hardfeelings to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/hardfeelings. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy 2024. I hope it's okay to still say that 3 weeks into the new year. If 2024 is the year where you finally want your skin to be clear, buckle up, baby. I've got a potential solution for you, okay? It's called Apostrophe. And whether you're dealing with hormonal acne or breakouts, elasticity, acne scarring, whatever it might be, whatever skin ailment you've got, Apostrophe's mission is to empower you and help you feel confident and comfortable in your own skin. I certainly feel the most confident when I have clear skin. I love it. Apostrophe is an online platform that connects you with an expert dermatology team to get customized acne treatment for your unique skin. You just got to fill out an online consultation, take a few pictures of yourself, and a dermatology provider will create a customized treatment plan just for you. We have a special deal for our audience. Get your first visit for only $5 at apostrophe.com/hardfeelings when you use our code HARDFeelings. That's a savings of $15. This code is only available to our listeners. All right. To get started, you just go to apostrophe.com/hardfeelings and click get started. Then use our code HARDFeelings at sign up and you'll get your first visit for only $5. Thank you, Apostrophe, for sponsoring this episode. I don't think it would have been possible for me to have a sense of style and appreciate, putting together an outfit and finding something that really feels like me and unique to me and my sensibility. I couldn't have done any of that if I would have still been in the eating disorder. I don't think it's possible because I think that dysfunctional, unhealthy relationship to food and body is really counterproductive to having any sort of creative expression in it, right? Like they're kind of the opposites as I think about it. There's dysfunction, chaos, just turmoil on the one hand. And then the other hand is creative expression and growth and flow and enjoyment and beauty. And they completely cancel out one another, I think. So I kicked the eating disorder and then I started experimenting with clothes. I started asking myself what feels right on my body, what feels great to me. I would keep track of my outfits and then rate them at the end of each day based on how I felt wearing them. Did I feel my most comfortable, my most confident? And if not, something would need to change. I went through my entire closet. Oh, I loved this exercise. If it wasn't a 9 or a 10, it left. That was one of the first things I did with my closet, actually, because my closet went down to it was tiny. I probably had 20 items all together for a time because that was sadly what I was left with when I considered, what makes me feel good and confident versus what was just, hiding insecurity, etc. So I did the only 9s and 10s exercise. I also did at some point, once I had accumulated more things, I did the 90-day rule, which is if you haven't worn it in the last and this is a rule that I still keep for my closet, but if I haven't worn it in the last 90 days and I'm not going to wear it in the next 90 days, it goes. I'm sure you guys have this where you look in your closet. This is like the cliche, right? You look in your closet, it's stuffed full and you're like, oh, I've got nothing to wear. Yeah, it's because you have clothes that A, serve a previous version of yourself. B, you never liked in the first place and got for any of the reasons I've listed in this episode, and you secretly resent those items of clothing. Or C, I haven't thought of it. I don't know what C is. I've not a clue what C is. It's going to be A or B. Let's just say that. Oh, another thing I loved to find my sense of style was capsule wardrobes. If I had to pinpoint one tool as being the most helpful for me finding a sense of style and feeling great in what I wear all the time, it would be the capsule wardrobe. I would do a weekly one. I would pick 10 items. I forget what it was now. Maybe it was 4 pants. It was probably 4 pants, 4 tops, and 2 pairs of shoes. Or 3 pants, 3 tops, 2 pairs of shoes, and 2 pieces of outerwear, something like that. And I probably alternated depending on the season. But I would choose those pieces, and then I would only wear those pieces throughout the course of a week, which really helped me to think more creatively about what pairs with what and envision pieces in different ways than I had necessarily envisioned them from the get-go. It helped me get the most use out of my clothing. And the big ta-da that I'm working toward here, because I feel like a nice place to end is a ta-da, is that I dressed myself for the entire book tour that I did for I'm Glad My Mom Died, for all the press stuff, for all the colleges. I picked out all my own outfits. I dressed myself. And my God, does that sound hilarious now as I'm saying it out loud? I dressed myself. Okay, preschooler, congratulations, good job. But really, it's tough to do. It's a hard thing to do. There are many people who are paid many dollars to style people professionally, and I completely understand why. I think it's really difficult to nail a look. And I'm not saying I nailed everyone, but I do think I really expressed myself and what I was feeling during that phase and what I wanted to express during the book tour, which something that was very important to me was to not show really any skin. I feel that oftentimes in my youth, I was really... I'm wary of using the language I'm about to use because I know how press outlets get and how eager they are to pick up words like the ones I'm about to say, but it's also the truest way I can express it. I felt sexually exploited in a lot of the clothes that people chose for me to wear. And since the book was my choice and what I wanted to do, and the first thing that I put out into the world that was completely and fully mine, I really wanted my clothing to reflect that. And in a way, kind of be a fuck you to the past. I wore loud things, bright things, but fully covered all the time. And I fucking loved it. I loved every bit of it. And the things that I wear in my regular life are a bit different, but I love those just the same. I am proud of my sense of style. That's a thing I never thought I'd be able to say, and a thing that I've worked really hard to come to. And a thing that I genuinely hope to encourage other people to do. I think it's an important and underrated element of self-esteem and self-confidence. I really do. It's like, I think people, wrongly attribute a sense of style to vanity. And I think it's something that runs much deeper than that. And that's much more human and important. All right, that's all for now. Stepping off my soapbox. Bye.